we are lagging behind, but as such, today is the 20th day of
Okay.
Deepavali, so we will show you that arrangement. One minute.
Yes, Mataji.
So, inga vaayeng, Kishore inga vaayeng. 1 minute. ಹಿಂಗೇನಿಲ್ಲ ಓರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ఇప్పుడు ಸುತ್ತಿ ಇದ ತೊಡೋಣ ಸುತ್ತರ್ತದೆ ಬರ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರೋಣ okay you can see
Yes,
okay
yes, Mataji.
now on the 20th day all the gopis they are all going to Nanda Bhavan.
Oh,
Here is Andal.
Hari Bol. Mataji, so every day there is a different like pastime and like a
Yes,
different
yes,
decoration. All the
yes,
30 days?
yes, yes. No, no.
Hari.
See, I am just doing this out of hobby. It is not
Okay.
that everyone has to do this.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay.
Yes,
So
Mataji.
this is Andal and all her friends,
Hari Bol.
and they are going to Nanda Bhavan. And in
Yeah.
it is said that Nanda Maharaj also had elephants with him. In today's song, Andal speaks about elephants. So it has both two meanings. One is that Nanda Maharaj, he was the king of Vrindavan, so he had elephants. Elephant means opulence. And also Krishna and Balram were like elephant-like sons. So
Okay.
Krishna is also like an elephant. So we have
Okay.
shown elephant. Then
Hari
Nanda
Hari.
Maharaj had many cows.
Okay.
There is milk. And
Oh,
here is Krishna.
oh, so
He is
sweet.
sleeping. Krishna is sleeping in Nanda Bhavan. And the gopis are right next to his feet. They are trying to wake him up.
Oh, so beautiful. Actually, for today's poster, I wanted to pick up the same I mean, pastime, but I didn't know you would be telling the same, like where Krishna is sleeping on the bed and all the gopis waking up. I wanted to pick up the same one. But
Yeah, but that comes much later. So if we post that, we are not going to speak that today. Yeah.
okay, it's very very beautiful. Who takes care of the detailing, Mataji, the dressing and the
I I do it.
very nice, very beautiful.
Just a minute. I'll just arrange the light.
Yes, yes, Mataji.
Am I okay? அந்த சார்ஜர் இங்க கொண்டு வர முடிஞ்சா ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे okay so today I thought of discussing two songs of Andal, second and third. Last time we saw the first song in great detail.
Yes,
Um,
Mataji.
all these 30 songs, uh, they proceed in a very, very organized and systematic way. Andal's mood is that she doesn't want to leave anyone behind, any friend behind. So she clarifies everyone's doubts, and later when they begin the vrata, she will wake up every friend, whoever has been missing, who has not come. They'll wake up all of them, and how they go to Nanda Bhavan. It's all very, very exciting. So that's how it progresses. So today we will see the second and third song, discuss that. So last time we already saw how Andal describes to her friends
Mike.
what is the purpose of our vrata, whom we are going to worship, and also she first mentions that we are going to worship Lord Narayan. Then her friends are all confused. We don't know this Narayan. And then she goes on to describe that Narayan is none other than our Krishna, who is the son of Nanda Maharaj, the lion cub like son of Yashoda, and he has beautiful eyes which are like the sun and moon. He has Megha Shamala, means he's like the monsoon rain cloud, and all that she mentions like that. And she says that he will give us all that we desire. And what do they desire? Pure devotional service, love for Krishna. So in this way, Andal last time she spoke about all this, and we know that all these girls, they are having a small meeting before they start their vrata. They are all having a meeting. So next day morning, they have to begin their vrata, this Pavai Nombu, and right now they all of them are discussing what this vrata is going to be, how they are going to do it, what are the how exactly to follow all these things. So today in the second song, Andal is going to speak about the do's and don'ts about this vrata. So that's also very interesting. This is something that we need, or every devotee needs to follow throughout our life, not only during this month. So I'll just try to recite this song and then we will see the meaning. வையத்து வாழ்வீர்கள் நாமும் நம் பாவைக்கு செய்யும் கிரிசைகள் கேளீரோ பார்க்கடலுள் பையத் தூகின்ற பரமன் அடிப்பாடி நெய்யுண்ணோம் பாலுண்ணோம் நாட்காலே நீராடி மையிட்டெழுதோம் மலரிட்டு நாம் முடியோம் செய்யாதன செய்யோம் தீக்குறளை சென்றோதோம் ஐயமும் பிச்சையும் மாந்தனையும் கை காட்டி உயுமார் எண்ணி யுகந்தேலோர் எம்பாவாய். Okay, so even the wordings are very sweet in this. So how Andal begins? She says, "Vayyattu Valvirgal." In Tamil, Vayyam means this world, and Valvirgal means those who are living in this world. She addresses her friends like this by saying, "Vayyattu Valvirgal." She's calling her friends that, "Oh my friends, all of you who are living in this world." Now, and then she says, Namum nam pavaikku sayyum kirisaigal keliro. Please listen, she says, what we are going to do for our vrata, please listen. But first she addresses them by saying, my dear friends, all of you who are living in this world. Now, what is the need to say living in this world? Andal says that those people who are having some passion to render devotional service, those who have a goal in life, some aspiration for which they are ready to lay down their life. Only those people who have that fire to perform devotional service are living people in this world. Others are just existing. Those people who have no goals, no aspirations in life, no ambitions, no higher purpose, they have no fire to perform devotional service. So such people, they are just existing in the world. For them it is just about continue to exist, because we are existing. Okay, so we have to eat something, now we have to sleep, but other than that there's no higher purpose. So such people are people who are just existing. But other people who have some aspiration and a great fire to perform devotional service and who are very ambitious in this path, they are like really living people. So Andal calls her friend, and because her friends are all very, very desirous to perform devotional service. That's why they have all come here. So because of that, Andal calls them Vayyat Valvirgal. That means, oh my dear friends who are living in this world. So then she says, Namu Nam Pavaiku. All of us, we have, for our this vrata, Sayyum Kirisaigal, we have to do certain things. So Keliro, please listen. Now, why is Andal saying listen again? Because already Andal was speaking, and the girls are there in the meeting. We know that, we know the setting. It's a beautiful full moon night. It's on the bank of Yamuna, and Andal is speaking. She's the leader of all the girls, and they are all listening already. So why is Andal again saying listen? Correct? Like, but Andal wants to emphasize over here something. When we want to emphasize something, then we say, please listen attentively. So even if the audience for a moment, if they have gone somewhere else in their mind, they will come back. So Andal wants to emphasize over here, and she wants all of their attention. So she says, Kediro, please listen. And also, where have their attention got diverted? Because these girls were very sincere and very desirous of performing devotional service. So where can they get distracted? Where has their mind gone? Their mind has gone into a very, very positive distraction. Like Andar in the previous song, she mentioned how Krishna looks. She mentioned about Nanda Maharaj, how he's holding a sharp spear because he's trying to protect Krishna. And she mentioned about Yashoda Maya was so beautiful. Just by looking at Krishna, her eyes have become big and beautiful. And how Krishna is his father Nanda Maharaj's very obedient son, and he is Yashoda's uh, lion cub like son, and he's a prankster with Yashoda Maya. And also she mentioned about Krishna's beauty by saying he is like his color is like a monsoon rain cloud, his eyes are like sun and moon. So when Andar was speaking and describing Krishna like this, all these girls went into a trance, internally thinking and meditating on Krishna's beauty. So that's a very positive distraction. But for Andal, it's a distraction from the subject currently. So Andal says, oh, my dear friends who are living, you all have such great desire to perform devotional service. Please listen with attention. So she brings them all back into this external consciousness where she wants to tell them something more. Now, devotional service also means some rules and regulations. So Andal tells them that okay, for our vrata, we have some do's and don'ts which we are going to observe, which we are going to follow. So she says there are 6 do's and 6 don'ts which we are going to follow. So she will list all of them down. As such, in the song, the do's and don'ts are mixed. They don't come like first the do's and then the don'ts. They are shuffled. The do's and don'ts are mixed. But for the sake of our convenience, we will list the do's first and then we list out the don'ts. So first, Andal tells all of them what are the 6 do's. We are going to sing about the lotus feet of the Lord. She says, Paraman Adipadi. Payyattuindra Paraman Adipadi. Payya means snake. So we are going to sing about the Lord Parama. Parama means one who is above all. There's nobody above him. He is Parama. Now in this entire Tirupavai, Andal will use many names for Krishna. And all those names have different significance. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, also we know that Arjuna uses different names for Krishna, and according to that context, we know why he is using that name. Similarly, Krishna also uses different names for Arjuna. So we know why Krishna is using addressing Arjuna in that with that particular name. So it has some meaning with that. Like Krishna says, hey Arisudana, Madhusudana, you are the killer of demons and Madhu, but you are making me the killer of my grandfather. Is that right? So we know that when Krishna or Arjun, when they use different names, they have different, it has a purpose. So in throughout this Tirupavai, Andal will use many names of Krishna. So we will see that. So she calls him that Payyattuindra Paraman. Parama means the supreme Lord who is above all, and there's no one else above him. And what is he doing? He's sleeping on the snake bed on Ananta Shesh. He's sleeping on the Ananta Shesh. And why he's sleeping on that Ananta Shesh? Actually, she goes on to say, Payyattuindra Paramanadipadi. Par kadallul payyattugendra. Actually, the Lord is there in the Vaikuntha planets, Goloka planets, and those planets are very far away from the material world where we are. But just to help all of us and to be more accessible, to be little more near to all the people of this material world, the Lord decides to come down to the Kshira Sagar. He comes to the milk ocean, and the Lord he sleeps on Ananta Shesh, which is on the milk ocean. So on the milk ocean, and the milk ocean is it is said to be near to the material world. That is why whenever the demigods have any trouble, they go to the milk ocean. And we know that Lord Brahma and all the demigods led by Lord Brahma, they go to the milk ocean when they have any difficulty, and if they have to approach the Lord, they go there. Because the milk ocean is very close to the material world. Other Vaikuntha planets are far away from the place where we are. So just to be accessible to all of us, the Lord decides to come down and be near, so that if anybody calls out to him helplessly, he will be near so that he can immediately come. Like Gajendra called out and he immediately rushed from there. It seems the Lord came in such a hurry to protect Gajendra that he did not even wear his Angavastra, he did not wear his crown. He left the way he was in a mess. And it seems he was pulling Garuda with him. He did not ride on Garuda, but he was pulling Garuda. He felt Garuda will be very slow. So sometimes if we have to catch a train or something and the train is about to leave, how we will drag our child. So in that way the Lord was dragging Garuda, and he came in great hurry to save Gajendra. So the Lord wants to be near his the living entities, so that if they need anything, he'll be more accessible for them. So Andal says that let us worship the Lord who is lying on the milk ocean on Ananta Shesh, and he is the Parama. Now this is the external meaning, but Andal also has an internal meaning which is very intimate and which will be only known for her friends. Now this external meanings is for all the people of the village of who have all allowed these girls to perform this vrata. But the intimate meaning that Anda and her friends only they know is that this is none other than Krishna. Because if Andal tells her friends that see we are going to worship Krishna, we all want Krishna, but if but we have to keep it as a secret, because right now they are all in their Bhavana Prakash, they are all gopis of Vrindavan, and Krishna is also present. And we already discussed that the elders of Gokul Vrindavan, they are not happy that the girls are meeting Krishna. So it will be like a bad character for them. So the girls want to keep this very secretive and very intimate, that we actually want Krishna, because they want to, they don't want that the elders in their village will think wrong about them, or they will, see that as a bad character in their personality. So they want to keep that Krishna very secret. Only among Andal and her friends, this is Krishna. But for all others, they are worshipping Narayana. That's why formally Andal will be saying Narayana, Parama. But among her friends, what is Andal trying to say is that this Parama is none other than our Krishna. Now, how is Krishna? Krishna is not sleeping on the snake bed in the milk ocean. That is Lord Vishnu only. But what Andal means is, which only Andal and her friends know, that this is our Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, who is in Vrindavan, and Nanda Maharaj has lakhs of cows. He has 9 lakh cows, maybe 9 lakh plus cows, and so much milk they are getting every day, gallons and gallons of milk. So Nanda Bhavan, Vrindavan is always like a milk ocean, because there is so much abundant of milk over there, and Krishna is always with the cows, and he's always in play. He's always milking the cows, or he's stealing butter, or curd and doing those pastimes. So this over here, she is referring to Krishna who is in the place where there is abundance of milk, which is none other than Nanda Bhavan. So this is the intimate meaning, the internal meaning that Andal is trying to convey to her friends. So let us sing his holy names. Now just try to pay attention how the songs are progressing. In the previous song, in the first song, Andal said she described about Krishna's uh, beautiful divine body. In Tamil we call it Tirumeni. Tirumeni means the Lord's divine body. And now she is progressing to say that let us sing about the Lord's lotus feet. Paraman Adipadi means the Lord's lotus feet. So now from the entire body, her focus is on the lotus feet. Because for us, it doesn't matter how the Lord looks. For us, it is very important to focus on his lotus feet. He may look very handsome or he may not look, but for us, his lotus feet is very, very important. So if we can focus on that, then we will be very successful. So she says, let us sing about his lotus feet. Paraman Adi Padi. Then, okay. So now what are the 6 do's that we have to do? First thing is we have to sing about the Lord's lotus feet. The second do is that we have to get up very early in the morning in the Brahma Muhurta and take bath. So she says, Nat Kale Niradi. Niradi means to take bath. Actually, bathing means in a traditional sense to take a dip in a holy river or a well or an ocean. But if nothing is available, then at least in our own house, whatever arrangement is there, we must take a bath, and that too in a very early in the morning during Brahma Muhurta. So under over here, she's emphasizing not kale neeradi, not kale. Kale means very early. Kale means early and not kale means very early. So during Brahma Muhurta, we have to take our bath. So this is the second do. Third do, she says that we have to give charity. She says Ayyamum Pichayum. So there are 2 do's over here. Ayyamum Pichayum Kaikati. She says that we have to give charity to 2 kinds of people. One is to those who are very learned people. They can be very learned, great devotees, or like a yoga. It could be a Veda Pathshala, or a Brahmana who is performing yajnas, or a tapasvi. So we give charity like that. Sometimes we do some home havan at home, and we give some charity to them. Or if there is some Ved Pathshala near our house, we may give them some charity. So that is to give charity to learned people for a higher, to those who are trying to increase their knowledge, Vedic knowledge, or those who are trying to perform devotional service to great devotees. Somebody gives a very nice, who gives very nice lectures, Bhagavatam or whatever, Ramayan Katha, then we give them some Dakshina in the end. So that is to give to those who are very knowledgeable. So that is one kind of charity. And another kind of charity is to those who are very needy people. So they may not be very knowledgeable, but they are in great need. So they may be very poor, or maybe somebody is trying to, maybe they need to go for some treatment, or they are trying to arrange their daughter's marriage, or accordingly. But if they are dharmic and they are needy, very poor and needy, so that is also we give charity to them. Like during our when this Corona COVID-19 was at its peak in our Pune, we have the Shvetadvip Prabhu and his team. They were going around and they were giving this khichdi prasadam to thousands of people every day, and they covered many areas, and every day they were doing this service, so that they were giving to the needy people. And at the same time they made a they made a committee where they gathered information of many devotees who are doing the who are rendering service like a priest in some uh, temples, big and small. So they, since all the temples were closed, they also were in trouble. So they gave monthly grocery and some kind of charity to these people also. So they helped both kind of people. So we can say that giving khichdi prasad to the needy and poor was one kind of category of people, and the other were those who are trying to run Veda shalas, gurukuls, and running different temples. He collected a lot of charity and gave them also. So those two come in this category. So Andal says giving charity to these two kind of people. And then, so we saw four do's. Then the fifth do is to strive to go on to strive to be on the path of liberation. Uyum are enni. That means to strive to be on the path of liberation. We should always strive to be there. We cannot leave this path and do something else. So we have to always strive to be on this path. For that, some struggle is needed. So she says that we have to strive to be on the path of devotional service. And the sixth do, she says that Ugand means all the do's that we are doing now that we just listed out, we have to do it very happily. And also our devotional service that we are trying to do, we have to perform our devotional service very happily. We should never feel that, oh, like now Ekadasi is coming, so we perform Ekadasi Vrata, we observe a fast on Ekadasi. So we should do it very happily and enthusiastically that, wow, tomorrow is Ekadasi and how I'm going to get up early and I'm going to chant very attentively. I will read some extra, I will do some extra reading of Bhagavatam, or I'll go to the temple and maybe attend a lecture. So we should do that very happily. We shouldn't think that, oh my god, again Ekadasi, yeah, and I can't eat what I wanted to eat. I had planned a pizza and now I can't have that. So we can't, if we follow our vow like that, it will not give us any benefit. So whatever devotional vows we follow, we should do it very happily. So that is what Andal is saying. Uyumar any ugand elo rembavai. That means do it very happily. And another thing, now we listed out the do's. Now what are the don'ts that Andal is saying? She lists out 6 don'ts. And the don'ts are nai unno, pal unno. Nai in Tamil means ghee and pal means milk. So Andal says that during our vrata, we shall not have very opulent foodstuffs like made with milk and ghee. Because Andal is trying to say that we are performing a vrata. So we have to be very focused on that. If we spend a lot of time in making very opulent dishes and having that, then we'll spend a lot of time on that. And not only that, after having very opulent food stuff, one feels very sleepy and lazy. So we will not be very enthusiastic to perform our devotional service. So Andal says that during this vrata we will avoid ghee and milk. Then, so these are 2 don'ts. Then she says we will not do 2 more things. That is, we will not apply kajal in our eyes, and we will not apply flowers in our head, in our hair. So again, what is Andal trying to say in this? That we will not spend too much time on bodily consciousness. We will not try to do apply a lot of cosmetics and try and dress up like this in front of the mirror, because again, a lot of time will be spent on this if we try to stand in front of the mirror and keep getting dressed and apply a lot of makeup. So we spend too much time on all this on our body, and we again uh, lose our focus. So Andal says we shall not do this, applying kajal and putting flowers on our head. But over here Andal says that we will not do it. So what does she mean by that? She says that during our vrata we will not do this, but after our vrata, if Krishna, surely Krishna will himself give us all the things that we need, and then we will surely apply all those things. So Andal is trying to recollect the pastime of Shringar Bhatt, where in Vrindavan Krishna and all the gopis had met, and Krishna, he did Shringar for Radharani. He gave her all those things like flowers, and all those things happened in Shringar, but where he gave all this Shringar paraphernalia to the gopis and Radharani. So remembering that, Andal is saying that we will not do it now ourselves, but later at the end of our vrata, surely Krishna will give us all these things, and then we will apply all those things. So we saw four don'ts, and then the fifth don't Andal is saying Sayyadana Sayyog. That means we will not do what our elders did not do. So we will always stay on the virtuous path that our elders showed us, like we will follow all the virtues like being truthful, honest, and not only that, we will follow the path of our elders. We will not try to follow, we will not try to find some new path which our elders or our previous acharyas they did not do it. But if we try to invent some new kind of path for ourselves, then that will not be correct, because our elders have already said they have tread a path for us, and we will go on that path. So Andal says that we will follow the virtuous path of our previous acharyas, and we will not find something new. And the sixth don't Andal is listing out by saying that uh, Uyumar Ayyam Sayyadana Sayyum Ti Kuralai Sendrodo. Ti Kuralai Sendrodo means we will not criticize devotees. We should not criticize devotees, and we will not speak something negative about a devotee in their absence. It is like chugli. In Hindi we call it chugli. Chugli means like saying something about somebody that in their absence, which they may have not said or they may have not done. Criticizing somebody in their back, or either in their presence or in their absence, we will not criticize anybody and we will not belittle anybody. So that is Tikuralai Senrodu. So Andal says that we are not going to criticize anybody or belittle anyone in their absence behind their back during our vrata. So these six do's and don'ts are so wonderful that they are like the pillars of our devotional service. So we need to follow this throughout our life actually. So in this, like this, in this second song, Andal, she sets the mood by telling them that these are the do's and don'ts we are going to follow in this during our vrata. And now in the third song, going ahead, one of the you know one of the girls, we know that all of Andal's friends are also very intelligent. One of Andal's friends, she has a doubt. So she asks Andal that, okay, very nice Andal that you are saying that we will do this vrata for because we are doing this vrata because we want Krishna, but uh, if we follow this vrata, we will get Krishna. But then what about all the people of our village, all our elders? They have allowed us to do this vrata. What will they get? What benefit will they get? Because they have allowed us and they are expecting something. So we may get Krishna, but what will they get? So one of the girls, she got this doubt. How will they benefit by our doing this vrata? So it's a very intelligent question, because we know that all the elders in the village, they have sent these girls to do this vrata for a purpose. So if that purpose is not fulfilled, what is the use? So this girl is asking, what benefit will they get? We will get Krishna, but what will they get? So Andal begins her third song by saying, ஓங்கி உலகளந்த உத்தமன் பேர் பாடி நாங்கள் நம்பாவைக்கு சாற்றி நீராடினாள் தீங்கின்றி நாடெல்லாம் திங்கள் மும்மாறி பெய்து ஓங்கு பெரும் சென்னல் ஊடு கயலுகள பூங்கு வளை போதிர் பொறிவண்டு கண்படுப்ப தேங்காதை புக்கிரந்து சீர்த்தமுலை பற்றி வாங்க குடம் நிறைக்கும் வள்ளல் பெரும் பசுக்கள் நீங்காத செல்வம் நிறைந்தே லோரெம்பாவாய். So Andal appreciates that girl's doubt and she now begins to answer. So she says, my dear friends, if we chant the holy names of Ongi Ulagalanda Uttaman Perpadi. So here now she is calling out the name of Lord Vamana. As I said that she will be addressing Krishna in different names over here. So here she is saying Ongi Ulagalanda means one who measured the three worlds. One who measured the three worlds. Uttaman, his name is Uttaman. Uttaman means the perfect one. His Per Padi. Per means his holy names. Padi means to sing. So she says, if we sing the names of the Uttaman, the Uttama, one who measured the three worlds, then what will happen? Nangal Nampavaiki Chatri Niradinal. If we, during our vrata, if we chant his holy names. Now please be attentive to this detail over here, how it is advancing. Like in the first song, Andal, she described Krishna's divine beauty, his divine form. In the second song, she focused on the Lord's divine lotus feet. Now she is focusing on the Lord's holy names. Now she is not neither talking about the Lord's divine form nor his lotus feet. She is speaking about Uttaman Per Padi. Per means his holy names. So Andal is saying that if we sing his holy names, what will happen? Now, she is saying Teengindri Nadellam Tingal Mummari Pedu. The entire, all this village, not only village, all the surrounding areas over there, they will get enough rain. How will it rain? Teengindri Nadellam Tingal Mummari Pedu. She says that it will rain in such a way that there will be very good rain, but it will not rain continuously. Like, if you study environmental science, our soil needs time for the rainwater to get infiltrated into the soil. When it rains, if all the rainwater just flows away, it is called as surface flow. If all the rainwater just flows away, it carries away all the good topsoil and all the essential minerals and everything gets washed off. And the water does not even get infiltrated inside. Then that water which just flows away will not even enter the water table. Now I'm speaking some environmental science, but this is what Andar is saying over here, that such kind of rain is not very beneficial. It will just cause flood, water will go and all the silt will get deposited in the river. So Andal is very intelligently saying, Tingindri Nadellam Tingal Mummari Pedu. That means once a week there will be heavy rain. And that rain will be very heavy rain and it will fall wherever people want it to fall. Like say somewhere there is the farmer has sown seeds in some farm. Then the rain will fall over there on his farm. But say somewhere some lady has just dried some papads on her terrace. Then the rain will not fall on her terrace. Or say that some farmer is yet to sow his seeds. Then he doesn't want it to rain immediately. Then it will not rain on his farm. So it will rain when and where people want it to rain. And also people will have prior information about the rain. So there will be nothing to worry. Like, nowadays in rainy season, like we have to always carry our umbrella, our raincoat, and we carry it. And after carrying it, we bring it back and then we wonder, oh, I simply slogged carrying all this and it never rained. Or sometimes we may think that, oh, today it is not at all cloudy. Like, I need not carry anything, but suddenly it will start raining. So both of that is not good. So Andal says it will rain and you will have prior notice that it is going to rain. So when you get notice, you can carry your umbrella and then later it's not going to rain, so for sure you need not carry your umbrella. So it will rain like that, and also it will rain once a week, so that there will be enough rain and the rainwater will nicely infiltrate into the soil, and that heavy rainfall, that water will enter the water table, and that water will be very beneficial for the future also. Like there's a nice story in this regard. There was a Ganesh temple, and this Ganesh temple this Lord Ganesh did not have an umbrella. Usually on top of the deities there is an umbrella like this, chhatra. So one farmer came and prayed to Lord Ganesh that, "Oh Lord Ganesh, let it rain very nicely tomorrow, so that I have just sown the seeds. So then if it rains very nicely, it will be very good, and I will offer you an umbrella. You don't have an umbrella, I'll offer you a chhatra." Then he went away and another lady came, and she prayed that, she had some function. So she had raised a tent. It was a cloth tent. So she prayed to Lord Ganesh that, "Let it not rain, because I have just raised a tent and there's a very big function in the house. So let it not rain for these 2-3 days, and if it doesn't rain, I will offer you a chhatra." So they both prayed, and they both did not know each other's prayer. So after they both went, Lord Ganesh started dancing in the temple. So his Lord Ganesh has mouse as his vahan. The mouse asked Lord Ganesh, "Why are you dancing, my Lord?" So Lord Ganesh said, "Well, if it rains, I get a chhatra. If it doesn't rain, also I get a chhatra." Because if it rains, the farmer will offer me an umbrella. And if it doesn't rain, that lady will offer me an umbrella. So Lord Ganesh is very happy. So in this way, Andal is saying that it will rain in such a way that whoever wants rain in that area, it will rain. Whoever doesn't want, it will not rain over there. So like this she says, and that rain will be it will do very good to the soil also. And then she says, "Ong perum chennal ood kayalugala." She says that it will rain in such a way that the crops will grow very nicely. The crops will be very, very hashta pushta. Hashta pushta means the crops will be very healthy. They will grow both vertically and horizontally. And how will they grow? They will grow like Vaman Dev. Just like we know that Vamana Dev came very small, but when he grew like Trivikram, he covered the three worlds. So she says that the seeds that our farmers will have sown, when it rains, our seeds will start, the seedlings will grow, the saplings will grow, and the crops, within no time, the crops will grow in vertically and horizontally, just like Vamana grew as Trivikrama. Oong perum chennal oodukayal ugalu. So she says. And not only that, poongu vazhi podir porivandu kan paduppa. In between, in the farm, if you are, all of you must have surely seen some farm. In the farm, they keep some kind of small, kind of small tracks for water to flow, water canals, so that water will reach all the crops. There's some kind of irrigation uh, facility that the farmers do. So it's like a small, very narrow canal from where water flows to all the crops. So she says that from those crops over there, there will be very nice flowering plants also. And from those flowering plants, there will be nice big flowers that will grow. And on that flower, now just try to visualize Anda's beautiful imagination, what she's trying to say. She's saying that in between the crops there will be flowering plants, and in those flowering, and we know that farmers, they do keep flowering plants, because those flowering plants, they act like a natural pesticide for the crops. So in between crops, they will keep some kind of, say, some particular flowering plant. So then they don't have to spray pesticides. Those flowers themselves act like pesticides. And on those flowers, nice bumblebees will come and sit because there will be a lot of honey in that flower. So even the flowers will be rich with honey, and the bumblebee bees, the bees will come, they will rest on the flower, and they'll get so much honey. So the bees will get so much honey, they will get drunk with honey, and they will sleep on the flower. And the flower will be moving in the breeze like this. So that flower will be like a cradle for the bee. And the flower and the bee will go to sleep on that cradle like flower. So what is Andal saying, that not only will the farmers get lot of crops, but even the bees will get lot of honey from the flowers. So their bees will also be happy. So she is covering the entire ecosystem over here. Not only the crops and the bees and the flowers, she goes ahead to say that there will be very healthy fish which will be going through those canals, the irrigation canals, from where the water is flowing. There will be fish which will going, that will try to swim through that, and the fish will be so healthy that it will, with great difficulty, the fish will have to swim through those narrow canals. Just like in a very narrow road which has many turns, and which is having a lot of traffic. So how will the rickshaw, auto rickshaw, how they drive like this, like that, they try to go through the left, through the right. So the fish will have to swim very with great difficulty, because the fish will be very healthy and the canals will be very narrow for the fish. So Andal is completely, she covered the green revolution in this by speaking how there will be very good rainfall, there will be very good crops, healthy crops, there will be many good flowering plants, bumblebees means very good pollination, then there will be and a lot of honey for the bees, and very good fish also. So that also she has covered. And then, okay, that is in the field. But what about the homes? In the homes, she says, Tengade Pukkirandu Shirtha Mulai Patri Vanga. The people, all our townspeople, village people who have cows, the cows will be so healthy that the cows will give lot of milk, abundant milk. They will give milk in such a way that before you place a pot under the cow for milking the cow, before you change the before you even change the vessel and bring another vessel, the milk will start overflowing. So usually it seems that the cows have, the cows don't milk so easily. The particular person who goes and milks the cow every day, the cow will only allow that person, that cowherd man to come, cowherd man or cowherd woman, whoever. That person only has to come to the cow, and sometimes it seems they have to sing for the cow. They will have to tie the hind legs of the cow, and they have to bring the calf of that cow near the cow, and so many things have to be done. The cow doesn't milk very easily. Usually buffaloes are very easy to milk, but cows are not very easy to milk. But Andal says that these cows will give so much abundant milk that the milk vessel will be overflowing with milk, and you will not even have enough time to change the vessel. So that is how the cows will be very, very healthy and with full milk bags. And then she says, this will be Ninga the Selvam. Ninga the Selvam means this will be like the opulence which will never, this will be like a permanent asset. We also know what is opulence. The real opulence means agriculture and cow protection. That is only going to bring us opulence, agriculture and cow protection. So both of that Andad has covered over here by saying how agriculture will be very good, there will be very successful yield, and also she says that the cows will be very healthy, and there will be lot of yield of milk from the cows. And ultimate, finally she goes on to say, Ninga the Selvam Niraindelo Rembavan. This opulence will be like permanent. Permanent means, now let me give an example. Like sometimes we buy a washing machine. So then that's actually very good. We have done some kind of an economically we are progressing. So next year, usually, once a year, in earlier times, people used to do some higher purchase on Diwali. People used to plan some higher purchase for Diwali. So that was our generation. Nowadays, people do higher purchase very often, but so people buy something, and then later, whenever they want to do a higher purchase, they buy some other item. So that means they are progressing economically. But suppose a person buys a washing machine. 6 months later, he buys another washing machine. And then next year, he buys yet another washing machine. Why? Because the previous two washing machines, they got spoiled. So then that is not, actually that was a bad investment. That was not progress, because if he should buy a machine which will last him for at least a decade or 2 decades, then he can buy different things. Then next time he can buy a refrigerator, or he can buy a bigger house or a car. But every time if he's only investing in a washing machine and is throwing away his old washing machine which has gone bad, then that is not a good investment. So that's a bad investment. So Andal is saying that for us it will not be like that, because our opulence is going to be with us. This opulence will not leave us. This will be Ningada Selvam, something which will not leave us and go. It will be a permanent asset. Yeah. So this will be our permanent asset. So permanent asset means we will always have very good agriculture, and we will always have very healthy cows. So she says like that. So she says, now what is all this? These are all the benefits that our people are going to get just by our performing this vrata. So we will get Krishna, and all our people, they will get all these benefits, which is like a byproduct. We don't have to do anything separately. It is not that we have to do one vrata to get Krishna and another vrata for the townspeople for them to get something. So by our trying to worship Krishna, all this is a byproduct which they are going to get. And then Andal says, why is Andal saying that by singing Lord's Krishna's holy names? She is saying that Krishna himself he is like a gold biscuit. But Krishna's holy names, they are like a gold ornament. So a gold ornament can be worn. We can buy it for investment. We can wear it to decorate ourselves. If we go for a marriage or some function, we can wear that and look good. And if sometimes there is some difficulty, we can sell that necklace and make money out of it. But if we have a gold biscuit, it can only be there as an investment, and we can sell it when there is difficulty. But we cannot hold a gold biscuit and go for a marriage, for a wedding ceremony, saying that, see, I am also ornamented. So we don't do that. Similarly, Krishna's holy names are, we can access it anywhere and everywhere. But to access Krishna himself, it is not very easy. You know, just like there is a folk song in Tamil which says, between there is an elephant and there is a camel, and they are standing 1,000 mile apart. The elephant and the camel is standing 1,000 mile apart, and in between the a sari business is going on. So what is this? So there was a person, those people who come to earlier times in villages, people used to come and they would beg alms. They would sing some folk songs like that. So one such person was singing this folk song. So one devotee got very interested. What are you singing? There is an elephant and a camel, and they are standing 1,000 mile apart, and in between some sari business is going on. What do you mean by this song? So he did not know, but he took him to his guru. And this devotee was very interested, so he went to another village, and that guru explained to him that uh, camel represents Dwarika. Dwarika means a big gate. So in Sanskrit, the name also means a camel. Ottagam. In Tamil, we say Ottagam. It means a gate and it also means a camel. And elephant means Hastinapur. Hasti means elephant. So, between Dwarka and Hastinapur, there is 1,000 mile difference. Up there, 1,000 mile apart. But in between, there is a Bisari business going on. So, you understood what? So when Krishna was in Dwaraka and Draupadi was in trouble in Hastinapur, she called out to Krishna's holy names. Hey Dwaraka Vasin, hey Govinda. She did not say Krishna come here. She called out Krishna's holy names. And from just by calling out his holy names, Krishna supplied unlimited sari to Draupadi. So the holy names saved Draupadi. At the same time, just for from the rasa perspective, Acharyas say that Krishna was personally present in Vrindavan and the gopis were there. And what did Krishna do? When he was personally present in his divine form, he took away all their clothes in Chirghat. So when Krishna is personally present in his divine form, he'll take away all the clothes. But when Krishna is not personally present and you call out his names will give you his names gave Draupadi unlimited sari and and protected her. So calling out Krishna's names is far superior than worshipping Krishna directly. So that is what Andal is trying to tell us, that the difference between Krishna and Krishna's holy names is like gold biscuit and a gold ornament, and how his names can give us all benediction. So let us call out his name. So now how Andal has progressed from Krishna's divine form to his lotus feet and now to his holy names. And we also saw how today Andal explained that we don't have to do two different separate vratas. Just by performing, rendering our loving devotional service to Krishna, all we are going to be benefited. We will get Krishna and all the people, the entire ecosystem, the entire village, all the cows, all the people, everybody is going to be benefited. Even the bees and the fish are also going to be benefited. So not only human beings, every living entity is going to be benefited. So that is how beautifully Andal explained over here. So with this, I'll end today's discussion, and we'll try to see you all next time with something more that Andal will tell us. So thank you all very much for giving your patient hearing. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. It was such a beautiful session today. It was really transporting. I mean, the whole analogy, of the field, the flowers, and the bees, and the cradle. It's so beautiful, and it's really amazing to know how when we perform the Ratha, I mean, not we, I mean, great devotees like Andal and her friends, how it benefits everybody around and the whole ecosystem. It's something, the connection which I have never thought of. It's really beautiful. Thank you so much sharing this.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Andal and her power in Mumbai.
Yes, Madhu, it's really very beautiful. Thank you so much. Despite your very busy schedules, you're giving us time, and it's really nectarian what are we hearing.
No, I'm not so busy, and this is the best engagement in during this month.
Yes, Madhu.
Okay. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Madhu.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you so much. Hare Krishna.